What's going on, guys? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to make a video talking about Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland 2 is apparently signed and just waiting to schedule a date. These two individuals fought at UFC 297, and it was a very razor-close finish where Dricus Du Plessis ended up getting the middleweight win. But Sean Strickland came out today and said this fight is all signed, stamped, and sealed. And guess what? This fight is going to happen very, very soon, and that is something that all UFC fans can look forward to. We get to see Sean Strickland back inside the UFC octagon, where we can get another battle between these two individuals in the middleweight division. First off, before we jump in right into the episode, if you guys enjoy the UFC content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. If you guys could go down there and smash the subscribe button if you enjoy daily UFC content, that would be absolutely amazing. While you're down there, please turn on the post notifications, just so you guys are always notified when UFC content gets released. But without further ado, let's jump right into the video of Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland 2 officially signed. So just today, it was broke on Twitter by a bunch of different sources that Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland 2 is officially signed, but not confirmed with a specific date. So they will get officially announced in the UFC organization by Dana White when they have a specific date down and pat and sealed for this main event. Now, this is an amazing fight, as we all know, at UFC 297 in Toronto, Canada. It was one of the best fights of the year in 2024 so far, in my opinion, to where we had Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland go back and forth in an absolute war between one another. If you want to check out my video talking about the battle between these two and my prediction and the early breakdown between the fight, I'll leave that right here. But I just want to kind of get in of when this fight is going to possibly occur, what different things are possibly going to happen in the lead up to this fight, and of who could possibly reiterate that kind of decision if you missed it off last time. Now, I truly think that Sean Strickland is looking to get back inside the UFC octagon, probably not at UFC 310, although that could be the desired fight date for these two individuals, and if it is, that would be an incredible thing to be had. As we all know, Sean Strickland fought at UFC 297, of course, 302, and then it would be 210. Dricus Du Plessis, on the other hand, fought at UFC 297 as well, all against Sean Strickland. He fought at UFC 305 against Israel Adesanya, and would be a quick turnaround to headline UFC 310 if that's when the fight date is. So there's going to be a lot of speculation coming into this fight announcement of when it's going to really be had. It could be happened as late as possibly March next year, or it could be had as early as something like December of this year. Now, Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland, I feel like is going to have a very fiery wind up into the next part of these two fighting, because Sean Strickland really did think that he beat Dricus Du Plessis, and as we all know, Sean Strickland is an incredibly loud mouth of a fighter. He really wasn't about the belt prior to getting it, and ever since he lost it to Dricus Du Plessis, he felt like he was cheated out of a decision win against Du Plessis at the Ontario-Toronto fight. And truly, it was one of the best performances, in my opinion, from both of these fighters. I thought Strickland looked good out there, I thought Du Plessis looked good out there, and truly and originally, I did think that Dricus Du Plessis got the win very razorly close in that performance, but Sean Strickland did have a good showing out there against one of the greatest middleweights on the planet right now in Dricus Du Plessis, considering that he just dismantled Israel Adesanya right along there, like with Sean Strickland. So I think that this is the most competitive fight at the middleweight division right now. I think that if anyone could beat Dricus Du Plessis, it would be Sean Strickland or Robert Whittaker. Now, Robert Whittaker would have to make some major changes, but Sean Strickland genuinely had a chance to go in there and beat Dricus. Now, I originally that night, I thought Strickland won, but I also thought Du Plessis won. It was kind of one of those really 50-50 fights in my opinion, to where I could see of how either fighter won, but I could also be disappointed in not seeing of how the fighter lost, if that makes a little bit of sense. So I do think that Dricus Du Plessis ultimately did do enough to get the win, but I also feel like Strickland did enough too. So I feel like this is the grudge match between these two individuals to truly show one another of who was valued in that standpoint, and of truly who wanted to get that win more in that first fight. I feel like that first fight was so close that it could have gone either way, and there would have been controversy surrounding one another individuals about a possible turnout or fight occurring. So, Sean Strickland, Dricus Du Plessis, what do I think the outcome is going to be? And like I said in my last video, which I linked earlier, I do think that Dricus Du Plessis is going to retain the title. I think it's just Dricus Du Plessis' style. He just goes in there and he just always finds a way to win every single fight. It is something that is super super uncanny for me inside the UFC octagon. I watch a lot of fights. I try to watch all the events, and Dricus Du Plessis is the one fighter who truly, in my opinion, looks like he has no idea what he's doing out there, but everything that he puts together is just so tactically smart, and he's just one of the best fighters at putting stuff together. And I feel like even if he had no fighting skill whatsoever, he just knows what he's doing. And I feel like that this is perceived only upon his stand-up ability rather than his grappling ability, because Dricus Du Plessis is one of the best wrestlers / grapplers in that middleweight division, and especially that they've ever seen. Israel Adesanya has never fought someone like that, and look at it, the first time Izzy did fight someone like that, he did get submitted. So I do think that Dricus Du Plessis has that going for him, but definitely Sean Strickland could go in there and win a razor close decision win, and I think this fight is going to go the distance, and I think it's going to be razor close. I see Strickland's takedown defense being a little bit too much for Dricus Du Plessis, but I also see Dricus's just style internally, just being able to push and push and push to ultimately just land more takedowns, possibly not even to get more shots, to get more control time, to just show Sean Strickland that he can be a more well-rounded mixed martial arts on this standpoint. But like I kind of said, this fight is going to be incredibly close between two fiery individuals inside the UFC octagon. I am looking forward to this fight so heavily, considering that Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland are both incredibly fun to watch, and are both incredibly amazing personalities inside the UFC octagon. 2, the press conference between these two individuals should be amazing as well, considering that Dricus Du Plessis made Sean Strickland cry the first time that they fought, because he was talking about his father and all that different stuff that Sean Strickland went through as a child with his abuse, and all the different situations about this fight adding on to that. I think it's only going to make for a more fiery and envious fight between these two individuals. Overall, I think Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis is going to happen probably in January or February of 2025, but I really do, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this fight occurring once again. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA, and please let me know what you think down below in the comment section, what you think about this fight announcement between Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland. I recently made a video about Robert Whittaker possibly being able to pass Sean Strickland up, but if Dricus Du Plessis is going to turn around this quickly against someone like Sean Strickland, I do think that that is perfect for the UFC and their ability. I think Dricus Du Plessis should be one of the most active fighters. I think he has the skills to be an active fighter. He's so well-rounded, he's so smart, that I think that everyone wants to see Dricus Du Plessis, and he could easily become one of the biggest stars in the UFC currently if he furthers that just straight knowledge of everything going on. Dricus Du Plessis is genuinely one of the most fun fighters inside the organization, but Sean Strickland could give him a run for his money in every single fight that they have between one another, and I do think that this would be an amazing fight to put on the second time, a fight that got more hype, a fight that would be even closer, and a fight that would be filled with more trash talk. If you guys enjoy the UFC content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That is the best way to help support the channel, and while you're down there, please turn on the post notifications just so you guys can always be notified when UFC content releases. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA, and I will catch you guys very soon with more UFC content and news.